Miami Dolphin fans, let me ask you something. You love the Dolphins? Do you think they are the greatest football team? How about the greatest show on surf? If you answered yes to any or all of these questions, then fins up and surfs up to the greatest show on surf.shop today. Celebrate the most explosive offense in the NFL with this awesome exclusive merch. From jackets, hats, shirts, and more, they have it all. Use promo code FINSTALK and save 15% on your order. Show off your fandom. Don't wait. Go to thegreatestshowonsurf.shop today.
Miami has the Dolphins, the greatest football team. We take the ball from goal to goal like no one's ever seen. We're in the air, we're on the ground, we're always in control. And when you say Miami, you're talking Super Bowl, 'cause we're the Miami Dolphins. Miami Dolphins, Miami Dolphins #1. Yes, we're the
Good evening, Dolphins fans. Welcome to another episode of the best, most positive banking show on the internet, the Fins Bandwagon. Good evening, everyone. Dolphin fans, anyone who wants to be your Steelers fans, we're about to learn in a minute. Welcome to another episode of the Fins Bandwagon. I know it's been a few weeks. I've been hiding under my rock. It's cold up in Montreal, Canada, but I'm back. Fish Tank missed me. Courtney for sure missed me. Guys, welcome to another episode of the most positive show on the internet, sometimes. The Fins Bandwagon. I'm your host, FinStanza. With me, as always, Pops, special guest Sergio, and always Courtney. Drop her a link. She's always going to be here. How you doing, everyone?
I'm doing great. And I just want to say this is my friend that I always talk about that's in Oregon. And he came out for a visit. We've been doing some partying, of course. Yeah. You got to do a little bit of this, a little bit of that. You know how it is, Courtney. You know, you have friends
a little
over,
dab of that, a little dab of this, a little dab of that, right?
Yeah, well, maybe, that might have exactly been it. Yeah, a little bit of that.
That's how well I know my Pops, right? That's how well I know.
I've been known to get jiggy with it.
I know. But Hank, you're doing well. Hank, we haven't seen each other in a while. It's been a while. You're doing well?
Yes, sir.
How long, Sergio, how long are you down in Florida for?
2 weeks.
2 weeks? Hank, do you have the stamina to put up with Sergio for 2 weeks?
Yeah, I have a lot of stamina for him. He's like a long lost kid or something. You know what I mean?
That's awesome. So let me take a.
So we have a kindred. We have a kindred spirit also, as you and I do, Junior.
Oh, do we? Sergio, give us a moment because you're wearing which jersey is he wearing?
He is wearing a Tyreek Hill jersey.
Wow. Because he lost the bet, right?
He lost the bet. He bet me that whoever's team won, the other one had to buy them a jersey of their team. So I said, well, when you come out, you could be on the Fins Bandwagon if you want. So here he is.
That's awesome.
And I didn't know he was bringing his jersey.
That's awesome.
So I'm kind of happy that he did, because now he's here with us celebrating for us. He's celebrating for us. He's still a Steelers fan, though. I haven't convinced him to turn over.
How did it feel, Sergio? Have you gotten to drive in his vet yet?
Oh yeah, it's amazing, dude.
Oh, but how does it feel as a Steelers fan to drive around in a Miami Dolphins Corvette?
Has
he let you drive it?
Doesn't matter.
Has he let you drive it?
No.
No? Come on, Hank.
I don't blame him.
But next year, Hank's letting me do a little quick spin for tailgating. Now that he's frozen, we knew this would happen, Courtney, right?
No, we called it.
Next, we're all getting a little chance to go around the tailgating next year when we come down.
Everybody's going to be taking rides, no problem, man. It says Disney on the side of it.
Yeah. So Sergio, before we talk about Dolphins, tell us a little bit about you and tell us how you became a Steelers fan.
In middle school, I really liked Troy Polamalu, and because
I wonder why matching hair, maybe.
Yeah, and he's always been my favorite football player, and I just stayed a Steelers fan since then.
Well, you've had more success than us, so stick with it. Stick with it. Very quick. Are you a Tomlin fan or not a Tomlin fan?
Oh yeah.
You're not one of those fans who wants him gone?
No, I like him. He's pretty good.
Very cool.
I come from the Steelers family, Sergio, and they hate him.
Yeah. By the way, but Courtney, maybe you and Sergio should hook up because Courtney lives in Philly, but her whole family are Steeler fans, massive Steeler fans.
Oh, that's cool.
So you guys should maybe you guys should connect, and we should do a Steelers show where Sergio can come on. You get your family to come on. We'll moderate. It'll be a lot of fun.
If I get my dad on the show, no one he will just like Finstanza with the rants of.
I don't rant.
Just go off.
I don't rant. I always ask Fish Tank really quick one-liner questions.
Yeah,
every time.
Don't confuse me. You ask me one-liner questions, but there's 5 or 6 parts to it every time.
That's what I do. So people are wondering what happens to me. You have to understand. 3 kids, really busy job, work, travel. I'm everywhere. I'm one of those people who needs to talk. So unless I'm doing the show to do comments, respond to people by text, it's just not. I get caught up. I get lazy. That's why Fish Tank has realized you pick up the phone, you call me, you say, Junior, I want to do a show. I'm here. So Courtney's learning that right now. Yes, it took me a little time to text her back this morning. I got a little distracted, but that's my life. But during the season, I don't miss a thing. But during the off season in freezing cold Montreal, your energy level goes a little bit. And I'm also always busy with hockey with my kids. So that's why I'm always sticking around, but I'll try to be around more. We have a new show coming up, me and Courtney, which we'll preview a little bit later. And Bandwagon will be here as long as Fish Tank wants to hang out with me. So, Fish Tank, I haven't had a chance to speak to you. I spoke a little bit with Courtney about this, but I want to get your feedback. So, I call February the worst month of football for the Dolphins because we never are celebrating anything. And we're waiting for Chris Greer and the Dolphins to make a big free agent splash in the month of March.
Yeah.
So February is always the worst month for the Dolphins. It's very, very boring. But
I have people in from out of town, but I still, am following the fact that we did pick up a defensive coordinator, didn't we?
Yeah. Have you had a chance? Did you have a chance to talk about it on the Fin Talk today, or you didn't have a chance yet?
No.
Okay.
We haven't talked about it.
Let's take a moment and let us know your thoughts on the hiring of Anthony Weaver as our new DC. Take a moment and take a chance.
Ladies first. I always offer.
Courtney's talked to plenty. You first.
Okay. For me, I'm excited about the hire. They brought him over as he was the linebacker coach or something like that, wasn't he? For the Ravens,
D-line coach and run
D-line coach.
And
they brought him over from the Ravens. I really like that, because the Ravens, they've been doing a bang-up job, and I think that could be a big positive for the Dolphins in the direction we want to go.
Yeah.
You definitely need somebody that wants to be there, and Vic Fangio didn't seem to really want to be there. His mind was still up in Philly, and that showed by his play calling. So that's just my opinion. So I'm happy to have somebody that's fresh and ready to be here with Miami, rather than somebody sitting around on the outside.
Yeah. I do know that Courtney literally was in tears of sadness when they said that Vic Fangio was no longer going to be the DC. Her thoughts of Vic Fangio, she's so excited to have them in Philly because she gets to be closer to Vic Fangio. She can't wait to go have supper with him, hang out with him. Right, Courtney?
Yeah, I would love to bring Eli Apple to him too. I think that I would sacrifice and fly to Miami and just escort him up there.
So
not that Eli Apple's great, huh?
So knowing that it's a couple days later or just a little bit while longer, how are you feeling that Weaver's our DC? Do you feel it was the right hire? After I know you were looking more for a veteran, but what are your thoughts, Courtney, on having Weaver as the new DC?
I don't hate it. I said it before. He wasn't my top choice, but he wasn't my bottom choice. He was just kind of like one of the middle guys that I wouldn't hate it, but I'm not jumping for joy.
Okay.
It's kind of a wait and see. I want to see what he does. I see he's bringing in his own people. It seems like hopefully he's going to have some control over the defense, but I really want to see what he's trying to run, because a couple of the guys he's brought in like to run the 3-4, and I prefer
Joe Barry and Ryan Crow. Yeah, so just
I prefer
position
aggressive front, but I guess we'll see. I mean, I'm hoping that he brought some of that aggression down from Baltimore, and that he's not going to continue Fangio's soft zones, and I want him to mix it up.
Yeah.
But I guess it's a wait and see, because we really don't know what he's going to do yet. I haven't heard him.
No interview, nothing.
I haven't seen anything, so I really don't have much of an opinion to base off of.
Yeah.
Just kind of.
Yeah. So for me, the perspective I've had with this hire is he's had experience as a DC. JJ Watt is very high on him. You can't look at the team that he had in Houston. He's connected with McDaniel going back to Cleveland, so he's been in the league a long time. He's an NFL player, which really helps. The fact that you played in the league, you know what to expect. He's played with the Ravens. He's played with the Texans. I think the fact that he got he's been interviewed for the Falcons job and the Commanders job, knows that he's a little bit of a commodity there. The question is, why didn't he get potentially hired when Mike McDonald was hired away to the Seahawks job? Why wasn't he versus a 31-year-old Zach Orr? Why didn't he get the Ravens job? That's a question to be asked. But I kind of feel like this is a rental. I made the joke when we hired him that he's the coach in waiting for the Miami Dolphins. But potentially we could end up having 4 coordinators in 4 years, because he's going to be looking for a job next year. Frank Smith is going to be looking for a job next year. So the reason I like the hire, and I'm sure Sergio likes the hire, because he's the kind of guy, anything that the Ravens get worse helps the Steelers, right? Right, Sergio?
Yes,
yes. For me, he has a potential with the fact that our team is potentially going to lose Christian Wilkins, and is potentially going to. We're not happy with the way Jerome Baker played. Van Ginkel's going on between I forget. I can't pronounce his last name. Justin Mughal. I can't pronounce his last name. I won't even attempt it, even though I'm pretty good with names. The guy who got 9 sacks under Weaver, and the fact that Patrick Queen, who's a great linebacker. The fact that there's players from the Ravens who are free agents, if he's able to bring these guys over to Miami to play that physical defense, I'm all for it. So anyone who could bring other players to make our team better, I'm all for it. For me, the fact they brought in Joe Barry, who's an experienced guy, over Campanile, I think he was all smoke. The fact that they brought in Ryan Crow today now for the outside linebackers, the fact that they're finally redeveloping the staff and they're letting him build his own staff is a positive itself. I like that. But we'll see, because right now the offense doesn't seem to be changing a little bit. Special teams doesn't seem to be changing. So those are 2 concerns for me, because in the end, whether Fangio sort of suffered through at the end, I think that was more the quality of the players and the fact that he was stubborn. But the 2 weakest parts of our team were special teams and offense more than it was defense towards the end of the year. But if this guy looks like, if you listen to the way he talks, he's been a run game coordinator too. So the fact that he has a very smart, independent mind, and he's young and he's hungry, and he's going to try hard to prove that as a DC, he's warranting a high head coaching job. Vic Fangio couldn't have cared less. He wanted the money, and he wasn't looking for another head coaching job. He's looking for it. So he needs to prove his worth next year as the DC of the Dolphins. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Nail on the head there.
Yeah.
Nail on the head, Evan.
So NFL honors, that starts at 9:00. The Dolphins there's 3 awards. Actually, we won't find out about till Sunday. So Ingold is potential for Walter Payton, but we won't know about that till Sunday, I think. So you have Tua for comeback player of the year. I don't think there's a chance, because DeMar Hamlin's there. I don't think, whether he's there or not, there's no chance Tua gets it. And then Tyreek, I think, because of the fact that he got injured, and then in the big games at the end of the year, he sort of never showed up. McCaffrey's going to run away with that one.
Yeah, I don't think the Dolphins are going to get any awards.
The Dolphins are going to get shut out this year, just like they got shut out in the month of December. So let me get your opinion, Courtney and Hank. Do you guys? Is there any chance that the Dolphins get any hardware tonight, or not a chance in you know what?
No.
Or do you care?
I don't think DeMar Hamlin deserves comeback player of the year.
No, he hardly played.
He did nothing. But I think just for optics and for, publicity and bullshit, they're going to give it to him. Not that he deserves it, but they love giving out awards to people who don't deserve it. I am biased, so I think that Tyreek should obviously get Offensive Player of the Year. He's not, though. McCaffrey is. He's in the Super Bowl. He's going to do it. And yeah, the Dolphins are never going to get awards because we didn't do anything.
But we have the smartest coach in the league. We have the highest rated quarterback in the league, most pass yards, most receiving yards, but we don't win anything.
We're going to get the award for longest losing streak of a playoff game. That's the award we get. That's
the award. Let me ask opinion because I have to get it out of the way, knowing that he's a Steelers fan. Because I'm not a fan of his. I think he choked again. I think he's a great regular season player. What do you think of Lamar Jackson as MVP, but as an overall player? Do you like Lamar Jackson, Sergio, or are you not a fan?
Yeah, I do.
You are a fan?
Yeah.
Except when he's playing the Steelers, right?
Yeah, I don't like when he. What we beat him twice this year.
Yeah. Well, that's a good thing, right? Keep beating him. No, I'm not. Honestly, the regular season awards don't mean anything, right? Trust me, Patrick Mahomes doesn't care he's not winning MVP. The fact that he has the potential to win a Super Bowl and be a dynasty by the end of this end of this weekend, for me, I think that's all we care about, right, Hank?
Yes, sir.
Hardware. That's all we.
Absolutely, and we haven't been getting it done. So
no, we have not. So I made a comment, and I'm wearing his jersey today because this is why I fell in love with the team when I was like 3 years old. Obviously, it was a little bit of a.
All I wore was my old shirt.
It's cold up here. I have to wear my jersey hoodies. There was a softball question by this guy, another version of Mad Dog, to Dan Marino. It was a softball question, but I know he had to answer it the way he did, but I do think I called him delusional when I heard the answer because he could have maybe skirted the question, but he went right into it, basically put his stamp on this. He was asked, Hank, can the Dolphins win a Super Bowl with Tua as their quarterback? And he outright said, yes, they can. He's grown as a quarterback year over year. He is had the best passer rating, most yards. He's a capable quarterback. We can win with them. Then I went to go take a look at the stats that Dan Marino had in his second year. The man had 48 touchdowns, had a passer rating of 109, had 5,000 yards throwing. Okay? And he made it to the Super Bowl. What is Tua doing after 4 years? Winner of this, but has never come back to win a game more than 2 touchdowns late in the fourth quarter. He did that once with the Ravens game, but choked out the rest of the season. He was healthy, but for me, Dan Marino is drinking the Dolphins Kool-Aid a little bit too much of the bandwagon. Let me ask you, it's a softball question, Hank, but is Dan Marino being delusional? Do you truly believe that the Tua can lead this team to a Super Bowl?
Well, we started talking about Dan Marino, right?
Well, I'm talking about the fact that Dan Marino has basically said, he was asked the question whether or not Tua can lead this team to a Super Bowl. And he adamantly said yes, and he tried to back it up. And I believe he's being delusional because he works for the Dolphins. If he didn't work for the Dolphins, I think he would not have answered the question the way he did. Let me ask you, though, is he being delusional or is he being realistic?
Well, here's Dan Marino's numbers for his fourth year. So how about if we compare fourth year to fourth year? Okay. They were 8-8. He completed 378. He attempted 623. Completion percentage was 60.7, and he threw for 4,746 yards. His next year, though, he dropped down to 3,000 yards. So, and the record was 7-5, I believe.
Yeah. But straight up though. Yeah.
Just looking at it, and if I compare what Tua's currently doing, you can't compare the two really, but I just say, this is it. This last year was it. Tua didn't get it done. Tua didn't elevate our team at this point in time. Now, can we win a Super Bowl with him? Yes. But you could also win a Super Bowl with Trent Dilfer. You know what I mean? So, I'm not saying he's Trent Dilfer, but I'm just saying,
yeah,
there comes a time where you either got to put up or shut up. And right now, he hasn't put it up.
no.
So he has gotten a lot of records, and that's great. But, you have to be able to win those important games. And every time the important game comes, he collapses. Either that or everybody says the defense collapsed. Well, against the Chiefs, we scored 7 points. That's offense.
Yeah.
That's on the quarterback.
Yeah.
7 points against the Chiefs. You weren't going to win if you only score 7 points. Come on.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm talking about. If you're asking me straight up, that's how I feel about it. Can we win with him? Definitely. Is he my number one choice for quarterback? He never was. Herbert was. However, Tua, I've been supporting the whole entire time. I'm not a Tua hater. I'm not a Tua super fan either. I've just given this kid his due time, and he's had it. He's had 4 years, and he needs to step it up. This last year, he needs to do something.
Yeah.
And what that something's going to be, I don't know. Is the defense going to fall apart on him? Is the offensive line ever going to be a standard of 5 folks in there? Is that ever going to happen instead of this in and out? Let's just, just make sure the quarterback gets the ball out in under 3 seconds and we're okay because nobody can get to him. Well, that's not going to work all year again. So people are going to get on to that and eat it up. So there's lots of different things. They need to support.
G-Man, get off my stupid effing show. You come on here and say stupid topic. The premise of it is we know it's a softball question. You moron. We know that. But we're answering it because we're being honest. We want to talk about it. We want to talk about things about the Dolphins. We want to talk about anything. It's called filling up a boring February. If you don't like it, go watch another show. Goodbye. Courtney.
Yes.
You understand why I had this as the premise of the show, calling Dan Marino delusional, because that creates a little bit of a spice on it. It's spicy because of the fact I knew he would. Obviously, he's going to say that.
Yeah.
But I'm not. Hank's not. You might not. We're allowed to talk about it. Yes, he's running the company line, but then he doubled down on it. There's a lot of people who go on shows and they work for the teams and they will basically skirt around the question. They could just say, yeah, I believe he's an up-and-coming quarterback, and with time and the right foundation, and Chris Greer brings in the necessary pieces. But no, he straight up said, Tua can win you a Super Bowl. So let me, in his option year, during negotiations. So right now, you know what Tua's doing? Tua's recording that. Trust me, Chris Greer wasn't very happy about that because now Chris Greer, now he's hearing that Dan Marino, the greatest quarterback of the Miami Dolphins ever, and maybe one of the greatest quarterbacks to ever play this game, is on the Tua bandwagon, and we better re-sign this guy because if we don't extend him, we're not going to win a Super Bowl because Tua is the one who's going to lead us. Trust me, Chris Greer and Stephen Ross did not like his answer.
I disagree.
That's a bit fluffy. That's a bit fluffy.
I think they were in on the answer. I think the Dolphins social media team said,
right, G-Man, have a nice life.
I think the Dolphins social media team said, listen, big controversy with Tua. Fans are crazy. It's a year. What are we going to do? So I think to shut everybody up, the masses up, who better to go out and calm everybody than Dan Marino? Because everyone's going to say, well, that's Marino. He was the perfect scapegoat to chill the whole situation because it's going to quiet. Well, if Dan Marino was given a script and he was told, this is what you say. And that's what he said. You could see it in his eyes. He didn't believe a single fucking word.
This is Dan Marino right now. That's what he does every day.
He didn't believe a word that was coming out of his mouth because
of course not.
They brought up Patrick Mahomes. He gushed freely about Patrick Mahomes. He was, he's told what to say about Tua, and they're not using Dan Marino's language in trade negotiations, because Dan Marino was told to say that to shut everybody up while they figure out what to do with Tua and how they're going to do this. So who better to say that like line of crap than Dan Marino himself? Dan Marino sold his soul to the devil. He's getting paid from the Dolphins. You know, he's trying to keep himself relevant. He's trying to get sponsorships to make money, even more money. So yeah, who better than to just say, yeah, they're totally going to do this. I believe in them. And frankly, hot topic, who the fuck is Dan Marino to tell me what it takes to win a Super Bowl? I'm still pissed he couldn't win one.
Exactly.
So hate me on that I just dished Dan Marino, but he's not the be-all, end-all of
Hey, I dump on Don Shula all the time, and Thirsty wants to kill me.
I'm sorry, but anybody who looks at this and is
you
like,
know what?
Like,
at the end of the day, people always say the same thing. Dan Marino is the greatest quarterback to never win a Super Bowl. You know what? That means that he was a first-place loser.
Exactly.
That's what that means.
You know, my brother.
And he said it himself. That's what he said the AFC Championship ring was. A first-place loser ring.
Right. So my brother said to me, too. He's like, you realize that every team, there's 31 failures in the NFL every year.
Yeah.
Because if you lose, even if you go to the Super Bowl and you lose, you're just a bigger failure than everybody else because you made it to the big stage and lost.
Yeah.
So I believe he went to the Super Bowl and lost. Yeah, I don't care.
No. He didn't lose. He got destroyed by Joe Montana.
Who you went, but like at the end of the day,
destroyed. He said he showed up to the game and basically, you remember that Super Bowl that you and I could remember because we were a little young then, Courtney. Remember the Super Bowl that the Broncos faced the Seahawks, and on that first play, the center did a Connor Williams and threw it about 50 feet above Peyton Manning's head. You knew the game was over. That was Dan Marino after the first drive. Like the Dolphins just showed up to collect their participation ribbon in 1984. That's what they showed up to do. That's all they did.
I don't think that they're using this for Tua. I think this was just a publicity stunt while they figure out what we're doing with Tua.
Yeah, but they think we're stupid. But the thing is that they don't realize we're so numb to this now. It actually made me more annoyed as a Dolphins fan because I go, I don't need to hear this nonsense. Tua's proved nothing to me. He without Tyreek, he's nothing. Like the guys without Tyreek basically can't win you anything either. Like the whole foundation of the team is completely screwed up. So they literally had. Let's just recall this event. The Steelers had a more successful season than the Dolphins. Think about that. They did this off with Mason freaking Rudolph. Okay? They did this without TJ Watt for part of the season. What did we do? We had Tua, we had Tyreek, we had Waddle, we had McGenius, we had Fangio, we had Ramsey, we had X, we had Wilkins, we had Sealer, we had Armstead. Let's choke away December. Let's choke it away. We have 4 games at home. Let's choke them away. Like, people don't realize, like, Dan Marino saying this actually annoyed me more because I go, what a company line. Like, honestly, there's a reason why, like, literally, like, to talk the company line, I would have appreciated his honesty because had he actually said something, people, I think, would have gained a little more respect for him. I knew he wasn't going to, but I would have appreciated his honesty.
He didn't work.
Well, he was honest. They can win with Tua. But will they is another question.
Okay. I believe that we can win with Tua. We can win with Tua.
Yeah, we can.
If they surround him with a functional running attack that is completely balanced, a stout offensive line, and a proper like Tua is going to be like you said, he is going to be the Trent Dilfer. He's going to be the Brad Johnson of, remember this, okay? One of my best friend's favorite teams is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Had the Tampa Bay Buccaneers win their Super Bowl, they destroyed Jerry Rice and what's his name? I forget his name. Brown, Rich Gannon, who was MVP that year, and they John Gruden. How did they win that? The Callahan team with an amazing defense of Warren Sapp, Derek Brooks, Rondé Barber, John Lynch. And who was on their offense? They had Keyshawn Johnson, but it was their running attack. They had Warwick Dunn. They had Mike Allstott. They had a stout fullback. They had a foundation. They have an amazing offensive line. And Brad Johnson was able to score a ton of points because he had a foundation around him that was great. What did we do? we expect Tua to be a gunslinger. As long as McDaniel continues to think that Tua is Justin Herbert, we're not winning nothing. When Derrick Henry gets signed on March 13th, then I'll believe in the Tua again. But until that happens, not happening.
Tua can win a Super Bowl if we get signed Christian McCaffrey because we're the same team. And if they treat
We
Tua,
don't have a Fred Warner.
No, Christian McCaffrey.
We don't have a Drake Greenlaw.
He's carrying that 49ers team.
Of course. No, but they have a Debo. Debo is our Tyreek. But
if Christian McCaffrey gets injured in the Super Bowl, I'm telling you right now that Brock Purdy cannot lead them to win that game.
But they're not winning the Super Bowl anyways, the 49ers. Kyle Shanahan's going to pull a Mike McDaniel. And do you remember what let's always remember that Kyle Shanahan was the engineer of the offense that seemed to forget that they had a 28-point lead against the New England Patriots and decided to throw the ball over and over and over again when they already had the lead. Run the ball.
49ers game, it looks like you're watching a Dolphins game with play calling. They abandoned the run.
Still here. Should I even listen to his comments? He's asked me how old I am. I refuse to tell you how old I am because I'm probably about 4 years old because you're about to insult me, but I'm young enough to be Hank's son. Put it that way.
Yes, absolutely. So I'm not concerned with it.
Exactly.
What else you got?
Really coming after me. So let me ask you. Right now, I don't know if you saw this little thing about Tua today, how he's now doing ads with Drew Barrymore. Yes. They called it Tua Drua. Like the fact he's out there in the spotlight, even with all the lack of failure at the end of the year. How do you feel about that, guys? Like the fact that they're trying to utilize Tua in a more of a social media role. That's not really his thing. Like, how do you find it comes off awkward, or do you think it's actually good for him, good for his development, and good for the team?
I think it has nothing to do with the team. I think him and his family, he needs to feed his family.
He's dressed.
Get the sponsorship deals, make your money. I don't think it has anything to do with the team. I think it's to getting money to provide for his family.
Yeah. I love Steve Malloy. I love Steve Malloy. Steve's honest. Did you see the chart, by the way, that Steve showed about the people who come back when they're behind? And like everyone's up there, and Tua's all by himself at the bottom of the chart. Go watch Real Talk for Time. Like Tua's literally the worst quarterback at coming back in a game in the NFL. Like Will Levis is ahead of him. Every quarterback, Major Rudolph is ahead of him. Like it literally, he's by himself in terms of coming back in football games this season. It was embarrassing. It's really, really bad. So, you look at 10-year-old kid with your jersey hanging in your room, dude, get a life. Oh my God! Then why do you come on these shows, you moron? You're such a putz. I don't care. Say whatever you want. I have my friends here. Thirsty, Courtney, Sergio, Hank. I'm on the Fifth Talk whatever. You go do your own show and get out of my way. Shut the hell up, you putz. Now, where was I? But he's actually dressed up in Dolphins gear, so he actually has to get approval, Courtney.
They got to relate it back to the Dolphins. But I think it's more about his agent and just getting him money. Like, I would try too. Like, you can make some good money in these sponsorships. Look at Gronk.
Yeah.
They kill him.
Fins up, Rob.
Yeah.
Fins up, Thirsty.
By the way, if he actually takes me seriously, holy crap. Man, oh man, calling me an adolescent child.
Raphael just called me.
Isn't G-Man the guy who completely ripped you a new one on every Thirsty show? He's always coming after you.
G-Man? Oh, yeah, there's a few of them that I've had to block a few men this week for.
Yeah, Putz is funny. He is a Putz.
Behavior.
Yeah. What was I going to mention? So let me ask you,
they don't talk to me like that, though.
No, they only talk to the females like that.
I know.
Yeah, I'm not good looking enough.
Let's ask the person
I tried to show them. They didn't want to see none, though.
Look, I didn't show cleavage so that you could show yours. I didn't want to take.
Oh, all right. Here.
Okay. Sergio, since you're the unbiased person here, Tua guy, do you like Tua, or do you think Tua is below average?
He's pretty good.
Would you take him over Kenny Pickett?
No.
Oh boy, he wouldn't take him over Small Hands Pickett. Holy crap! We know we have a problem, guys. The fact that a Steelers fan would not take Tua over Kenny Pickett. Oh, we're in trouble, guys. The Dolphins are winning nothing. Who called him? He called him a second-time loser. That's what he said. No, wait, no. Okay, he took you out of context, Hank. Look at this. Look at what G-Man. Now he's coming after you. Did you call Dan Marino a loser, or did Dan Marino call himself a loser? What was the truth?
Dan Marino said that his AFC ring was a first-place loser ring.
Yeah.
That's what Dan Marino said.
Yeah.
So get your story straight. Go back, rewind, and watch.
Exactly. We love you. Let me ask you. So, guys, we're now 36 minutes into our show. We're having a good time. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Don't forget to take out the greatest show on surf, not really, .shop, and Caneswear for all your Dolphins and all Miami gear. That's where and all your Florida gear. It's a lot of fun. Not even overpicking. Exactly. So Cap asked a great question. So let me ask you guys this question because we love Cap. Cap's everywhere. Where's the stuff about where's the show? Did you guys hear what Deshaun Watson said today about Tua? I don't know about you, but that felt like Sean. What did he say, Cap? Let us know and we'll talk about it. He had asked, what do you think McDaniel's going to do with his very first round pick? I don't think it'll be up to him. But Hank, let me ask you. Right now, today, what do you think what do you think McDaniel wants to do with the pick? And what do you think the Dolphins should do with the first round pick?
Well, I like a lot of the offensive linemen that I see that are going to be there. I could really care less which one they take. Of course, I would love to have offensive tackle drop down to us or something would be nice.
Jackson Powers from your state, Sergio, from Oregon. Everyone on this team, everyone on this network is obsessed with Jackson Powers.
Yeah. And he's sitting at a nice spot too.
He's in right now. They rank him like in the late second round, so you can actually get him early if you really, really like him.
Yeah, I think if Miami was smart, they'd trade back to the early second round and grab him, get some more picks. That's what I would want them to do. But
my God! Now I have to get upset. I'm only 4 years old. Fish Tank just turned 40. How could you call him a crusty old goat? If you're going to call him the old crusty greatest of all time, I'll accept it. But man, oh man, I'm not impressed. He's coming after you, Pops. What should I do about this guy?
Oh, he's fine.
GOAT, which is greatest of all time. So
I know, awesome. Whatever. So what do you? So Hank, so what do you want an offensive tackle? What do you think they will do?
What do they usually pick that we don't want? A cornerback?
Exactly what they're gonna do because they got to cut X.
Yeah, that's what they're gonna probably do is take a cornerback because that's probably the last thing that you would think they would take, but I wouldn't mind
an edge rusher.
I wouldn't mind a trade back, or if somebody drops in the first round and they take a tight end or a wide receiver, I wouldn't cry.
Okay,
I wouldn't cry. Because we need a tight end so bad. We really do. We need somebody that can block and get out there and catch the ball.
Somebody who's sitting next to you seems to have the tight end that we really could have used this year. I think his name is Darnell Washington. I think he's a Steeler.
Yeah.
Got him at 90. We wanted him at 50-something, and you got him at 90. We picked 2 players before Darnell Washington was even taken. So
that guy's huge.
He's a great pickup.
Amazing. What a specimen that guy is. So Courtney, what do you think that the Dolphins will do, and what do you want them to do? What do you think McDaniel's going to do, and what do you think they should do?
Real quick, I texted my Steelers family, and all 3 said they would take Tua over Pickett. So that's a divide between Steelers fans, apparently.
We're going to have a Steelers show one day. With Sergio. Hank will moderate.
Yeah, we'll bring my brothers on more so than my dad, because my dad will go off and start talking about Bill Cowher.
Oh, gee.
I think
don't go there.
G.
Everyone always seems to do that to poor G. Everyone seems to do that to poor X.
Yeah, let's back off of X because you know who replaced him, Eli Apple. Tell me how that went.
Eli Apple's a free agent.
Yeah, good. I hope that somebody locks him in a room and he goes.
We have so many free agents on this team; it's crazy.
Some of them deserve to be free agents.
Yeah.
So as we are talking, what do you think? What do you think they will do?
Okay, what do I think we'll do? Go to your draft board. Find whoever had the fastest 40 time. It doesn't matter what position he's at. That's who McDaniel's going to get. That's it. He's going to get.
I don't like you anymore, Thirsty.
Yeah. So McDaniel's going to get the fastest guy on the board, no matter what his position. He could be a gosh darn punter who runs a 4.2, and McDaniel will pick him up first round. We need to get Jackson Powers. That's like my non-negotiable. I've claimed him as my draft box.
Rob's asking why we have a Steelers fan with a Dolphins jersey.
What did he say? Why do we have that? Because he lost a bet. And by the way, Thirsty, when I watch your shows, I might be not commenting. I might be working, but I'm there at the beginning and I can recap the summary of all your shows, AJ Dewey Appreciation Day. You show up to our shows 45 minutes late. What is wrong? I show up to your shows on time. I may not be commenting, but I show up to your shows on time.
After everybody tonight.
Shame.
You've been having some haterade over there tonight.
Oh, yeah.
Holy mackerel.
No, by the way, you didn't see last night, Courtney. Did you not notice how much I went after Bobby last night?
Oh, yeah. Well, did you not see I had Tatiana? My first 5 minutes of my show was just roasting Bobby. It was just a Bobby roast.
How awesome! By the way, I want to tell you something, Hank. Before we continue talking about, and then she'll tell us who she thinks they're going to. She just answered, but I'll end. Do you know that after Monday's show of Doll's Diaries on Thirsty's Network, we came to realize why Bobby is so good at what he does? It's all about the woman behind the man. I'm telling you,
she's incredible.
She's amazing.
So love her.
I would believe that.
Spell my name right, Malloy. Come on, Steve.
Even.
Steve, I'm here to give you warm and fuzzies. Come on, spell my name right. Oh my God, I don't want to hear this, Courtney.
I don't care what he does off the field, dumbass. Yeah. I care about his on-field play.
First comment of the show. He entered the first comment when Bobby posted the show was coming at 3:00. At 3:01, that's when he posted the comment. Jesus Christ.
I love Rob.
Jesus. Eric Elmer explained it to the brain toted host. What did he write? Marino had no. We already talked about this more. Do you understand? Okay, maybe G-Man doesn't know what 1 + 1 is. It's called a topic that you then build around. We know that, moron. Jeez, man, oh man. Because it was so obvious. Because it's so obvious. That's why it's funny.
He comes on just to yell at everybody.
No, I don't yell at you, Hank. I love you, Hank. No, but that's the premise.
Well, thank you, Junior. I appreciate that.
By the way, all topics have to be approved by the founder and director. So don't put it on me. Put it on the founder. Okay? Don't put it on me. He has to approve all content, just like the editor of a newspaper. Before it goes to print, the founder and CEO of the Fins Talk Sport Network approves all content. So
Dallas Diaries runs by nobody. Rob pretty much just gives me free hand. I do it.
By the way, we've already moved on from this topic, G-Man. Why are you so 45 minutes ago? Okay, let's go. They are going to take an edge rusher because McDaniel is in love with edge rushers, and I think he may actually have a brain this year. The fact that Phillips and Chubb won't be there at the beginning of the year. But in the end, I do believe they need to take an offensive lineman. They need to take a center. I don't care. Just take a center, a real center. Okay? Did you hear me again? Did I stutter? A center. I don't care if you go reach for him. If he's played center 4 years in college, he could play. Tyler Lindenbaum, who's a great center, I would have loved to have him on my team. He was the starting center for Lamar Jackson. If you go watch, Lamar Jackson didn't have any snapping issues. He didn't have any fumbles. Why? Because he had a prototypical successful college center. Need I say more? So, guys, right now...
Case dismissed.
No, case dismissed. Let's move on. What else are people having to say? I want Tannehill with these weapons. Bring him home when your deal. Okay, so let's talk about the elephant in the room. Hank, you go to sleep tonight at 2:00 in the morning after you and Sergio have a very fun night together.
Yes.
And you wake up tomorrow morning, breaking news after NFL honors that Tua Tagovailoa has been extended for 5 years at $200 million, 40 a year, 2 year and 2 years 3 years guaranteed to $120 million guaranteed. Your first word out of your mouth to Kelly and Sergio's wife is?
They overpaid.
I said one word. You said
overpaid.
Courtney?
Shit.
What is the most you'd give him? And what's the most? What are the most years you'd give him, Hank? And what's the most guaranteed you'd give him?
I'd give him between $20 and $40 million for a year, and not give him anything else after that.
Courtney?
I would pick up his 5th-year option.
They already picked up his 5th-year option.
Yeah.
You wouldn't. So if it meant getting more cap room, knowing that there's no one really out there, and you found out tomorrow, let me be more reasonable. 4 years, 160, 2 years guaranteed. And that gives you more cap room to go do what you need to do. It's the symbol, basically a Daniel Jones contract. Would that bother you?
Yeah, I'd give him 1 year.
So essentially, you're both ready to say bye to Tua, unless he wins you a Super Bowl next year on his option.
I give him 1 year, and I $5 million per game he wins, and then I'll give him $20 million if he wins the playoff game that year, and then we can revisit another contract.
Okay. So right now
based on what
we just don't have the we're not equipped to pick up a quarterback this year. Period.
No, we don't have a choice this year. We have to stick with him at least for this year because there's really
you need to have him there, and you need to make whatever's going on work around him this year, and then next year we'll be in position to draft one if we want one.
Okay. Tomorrow, if you knew tomorrow that you had a choice between Patrick Queen, linebacker or running back, Derrick Henry or Patrick Queen, for giving an example. Hank, do you want the linebacker as your first free agent signing, or the best running back since pretty much Barry Sanders at the helm for the Dolphins next season? Who do you want? Who are you spending your money on?
Yeah, I think you already answered it for me. I would take the running back.
Courtney's not. Courtney thinks that the running game is basically what we had this year with A-Chain and Mostert. It's going to work again next year.
Yeah, if we draft who I want to draft, we draft a center, we draft offensive linemen, we shore up those holes. A-Chan and Mostert, who led the league in rushing touchdowns, I'll go with them. You know what our weakest defensive unit was? Linebackers.
But we now we've solved that. We got a linebackers coach and an outside linebackers coach. We actually have two new coaches.
Now we need actual players to perform on the field. What are we going to do? Put Cater Kohu in coverage again? That was fun last year watching. So I'm doing Patrick Queen. And then I trust Mozart and A-Chan.
Do you trust McDaniel?
Well, I trust them. It's just a matter of
Derrick Henry's not in his prime.
Derrick Henry's can get us those yards that we haven't been getting.
Injury prone.
That is
true.
The problem is I would give up, no offense, if I had to, right now, I would do an easy swap for Patrick Queen, Derrick Henry for X and Wilkins. Let's just do that. Bye, Wilkins. I love you, X. You did me a favor. 10 interceptions. I know Courtney doesn't like me anymore, but you two can salut la visite en français. And I think Hank sort of understands what I just said, maybe if he speaks a little French, and bring in these. Honestly, I think this team has to be radically different. I understand that Van Ginkel is a free, like any of these free agents on our team. There's not one specific free agent on this team that I'm dead set saying we have to bring them back next year. None of them. Who? X is not a free agent. He has an option for $24 million, and I could never pay him $24 million. And he already said he won't renegotiate his contract.
Okay. I'll give him the $24 million.
Oh, here comes Wingate. You don't want Queen.
Yes, I do want.
You wonder why I want Queen Josh Wingate? Because his coach is here. If we bring in Justin Mugalaka, whatever, I can't pronounce his last name, I'm pulling a Bobby, and Patrick Queen for 1 year, we only need them for a year. Bring them in with Weaver. Have a great year on defense. I don't care. I want to bang pots and pans in Hialeah.
As the only female here, I want the Queen.
Yeah. Oh God. Oh God.
Well, good. He can spread the herpes on the field, and we're taking out receivers left and right.
I agree, Josh. We're getting over Henry. Oh my God, guys. Here we go. Raven, go talk to Raven fans. They want to cut. I don't care. So what? People want to cut anybody. Who cares? If the guy can fit into the scheme and do a job in a certain team, honestly, like just everyone was over Joe Flacco. A player works in a system. No one believes in Tua, but for some reason he was successful, sort of, with McDaniel in his system until he got his own way with his own stupidity of throwing the ball too much. Players could adapt. If Queen does what, if Weaver, I believe in Weaver. If Weaver believes that these are the guys who are physical with his defense, can come here on a reasonable contract to do their job, I'm willing to do that. No one believed in Zach Sealer, not a clue, came here and look at Zach Sealer now. No one believed in Van Ginkel. Look at Van Ginkel now. He's going to get paid big bucks now. So for me, anyone who's a Raven, who is physical this year, I don't care. Bring them here. I don't care. So he's soft marshmallowy. No, I leave that to the potentially sexy Rexy, who's did you hear this rumor, Courtney? Sexy Rexy might become the DC of the Cowboys. Can you imagine that sideline? Can you imagine the buffet between Rex Ryan and Mike McCarthy? Holy crap!
Did you not see my rant on it? I had to block 2 people that got into it with me because I came out.
Was great.
And I was like, oh, I'm sorry. What has Dahl been saying for a month now? Who to go after? And now the Cowboys went after him. And everyone's like, wait, that's actually a really great idea. What a great thing. And I was like, really? Because when I said it, everybody was sending me feet pictures.
Uh,
Not only did the Cowboys do it, and it's cool, it's a fetish. Like,
I know. It's the word. It's the word that bothers people. But no, honestly, the Dolphins right now, the one thing I actually appreciate about the Dolphins right now is the fact that they are, I'm trying to change the subject, are quiet right now. Like the fact that they haven't thrown Weaver to the Wolves yet, because obviously the team is, yeah. They're going back 10 years to when he was a coach. The only reason, no, I don't trust any coach. I don't trust any coach who's been on the AFC, any other team in the AFC East. I'm trying to change the subject. I'm just trying to change the subject. We'll let Hank laugh.
Oh, man.
Hank, do me a favor. Go take a sniff of the bird feeder and come back when you're a little calmer, okay?
Yo, I'm going to roll out of here.
Are you leaving?
I got to leave on that note.
No, we have 5 more. You can last 7 more minutes. You can last 7 more
All
minutes.
right, I'll last 7 minutes.
7 more minutes.
I think it's good
All
for
right,
the
then I got to hit the bird feeder.
Let me ask you, did you make Sergio pay for that jersey?
No, I bought him the jersey.
Oh, you bought him the jersey.
Yeah,
So he
had to wear it, but I had to buy it.
Okay.
That was the bet. And if his team won, he had to buy it, and I would have had to wear it.
Okay. I get that. So we're now 54 minutes in. Bobby sort of snuck in. I'm surprised he didn't come rip me a new one and join the link and actually come rip me a new one for blaming him for my content today. Because in the end, it's always up to the editor, right? Tua is not winning comeback player of the year. Because all we're going to, by the way, if Tua wins, I love Tua. A great guy. If he wins it, Tua Non is going to explode like we won the Super Bowl. Like, oh, this is the best thing ever. Look what he accomplished. Like, honestly, I want the Dolphins to be shut out just to reconfirm that this season was a total utter failure.
No, I
Would you agree?
I wouldn't mind seeing him win it just on the medical aspect of the concussions and all of that. But I think because DeMar Hamlin's injury was more severe, even though he is really non-existent on his team, I think just for semantics and, publicity, they're going to give it to DeMar Hamlin because then, because he came back from dying. Like, that's basically what they're going to say. Not like came back to play like it should be. It's going to be that he came back and lived and he stepped on the field again to have a terrible onside kick.
But they'll also say how he had this huge impact, on the team last year and how all the fans were, and the fact that he's back again, it's just amazing. And
He wasn't nobody last year. He wasn't nobody this year. But I'm very happy that he's healthy. I'm glad that his condition allowed him to resume. But I don't think he deserves comeback player of the year. Comeback human, sure, but I think a comeback player is somebody who was at the top of their game, went down, came back, and played at that same high level. But that's just my opinion. I'm sure Bills fans completely disagree with me and are going to rip me in my comments, but it is what it is.
Yeah. I just want the Dolphins. See, I'm actually going to make breaking news this year, right now on this show, even though it's the month of February. Next season, Hank, on every single pregame show, because it seems to work, I am predicting a Dolphins loss. On every single solitary show. I will never predict the Dolphins win. Ever. As long as Mike McDaniel is our coach, we will not win nothing. So I will predict a loss, and hopefully I'm wrong every single time. And then everyone can come on the postgame show and roast me. That is my goal.
Wait a minute. So how does that relate to Fins Bandwagon?
Because I love the Miami Dolphins. I'm here every week. I buy their merchandise. I'm proud to be a Dolphin fan. I'm proud to be with all of you. However, I don't believe in the person who thinks that his $5,000 Air Force shoes and his capris and throwing the ball down the field when he tells you this is the guy who will tell you the truth, lie to you your face, and then do the complete opposite. He literally, this is my last memory of the season. We need to have sustained pressure heading into the second half. We need to run the ball more and have more sustained drives. Let's throw the ball, 3 and out. This is honestly, as long as he's our head coach, unless we get, like I said, unless the guy has a lobotomy or Frank Smith gets a voice, we're not winning nothing. We're not winning anything. Sorry, we're not winning anything. And by the way, I don't care about 4 winning seasons because winning is only good if you're able to actually have a sustained winning team. Because people will say the Chiefs had a very bad season. They couldn't catch a football. They couldn't, when it mattered though, and they made the playoffs, they showed up. The Ravens didn't show up. They couldn't score in the last game.
So let me ask you,
the Lions choked that game away. The Lions choked the NFC Championship.
Let me go off topic now. Let me ask you something. What do you want Miami to do at 21? Do you want him to stay? He's not my friend.
He's Hank's friend.
Do you want to stay or trade back?
In the draft?
Yes.
I would I would trade, honestly, if it gets me, I would only trade back if it gets me more capital in the, I don't want to get out of the first round, but I need capital early in the second. I'd give up 21 to go down to 28 and 40. I would never, I need a late first and an early second, mid to early second. You?
All right. Yeah.
What about you?
How about you, Courtney?
I wouldn't trade back. I think we need all the help we can get, and I don't want to lose up talent to other teams when I think that we have gaping holes. And we don't have cap space. We have no money to pay these guys, so let's get
cap space. When you get rid of X and get rid of Wilkins and get rid of Williams, you have plenty of cap space.
So how about from 55? How about from pick 55 to 156 where we don't have any picks?
Yeah, but do you really want to give up a high first rounder?
Depends on who's there.
Low level third and fourth, and
like I said, I would trade back and hope and pick up the center.
Yeah, but what if he gets taken before?
There's still a lot of.
Yeah, I don't want to settle for my second pick. I want to get my first pick. I want to get the best.
Yeah. All right.
Problem is Chris Greer has an inability to pick the best.
Well, that's why I'm tired of not getting them. The fact that the Dolphins haven't called me to come in that war room, I could go into other people's war rooms and just scare them.
I believe it.
I dare you take him. God, do it. God, do it. Like
they're gonna find a way to restructure contracts. They're gonna, in the end, cap space. Like they really have to worry about the cap space probably in about a year or two. But this year they could always kick the can down the road one more year. Like that's not. I don't
know. I've never been a fan of trading back though. Like I want to get the best player at the earliest that I can get them. Like I want to grab up the good talent. And not because you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know who else is going to trade up. You don't know if you think that your board is clear and free, and then somebody else trades up, scoops right in front of you, and now, there we are getting a punter that runs a 4-2. I don't trust McDaniel and Greer. McDaniel seems like he seems like he's distracted by shiny fast things.
But I will give him credit. He did do a very sustained, long interview process. I was shocked. They just didn't go get one of his guys, like in San Francisco. The fact that he did a thorough interview search and interviewed a lot of people, at least he maybe believes that he does need help, right? He actually needs to have someone who might be as smart as him, but like who can actually. But oh wait, Anthony Weaver is going to be on that sideline. I cannot picture that guy up in the freaking booth. No. Like, can you picture that guy? You see the size of that guy? Like the guy could literally grab Mike McDaniel, put him over his shoulders, and run a 4-3. Like that the guy's ginormous. The guy still looks like he could play in the NFL. Weaver. Like there's a video of him showing his players how to do a drill. Can you picture Mike McDaniel running into one of those bags? Like that'd be on a loop. This guy could still probably bench press 400 pounds. This guy, Weaver. But anyways, Hank wants to go. We've done our hour. We'll be back next week. Bandwagon's here to stay. We're going to have a lot of fun. Is Sergio going to be gone by then, or will he be back with us next week?
He might be back with us next week. We'll have to wait and see.
It will be a surprise. That's why people have to come back. And I'm going to come up with another softball question. Softball question for next week. Is Dream-Man a troll? How could we answer that question?
The funniest thing is I haven't said anything to this guy and he just keeps going on and on and on and on and on. Yeah, it's the funniest thing.
Wait, you know who I blame for his stupidity? Dolphins Thirsty for continuing to punch his ego a little bit on his network.
Oh,
so anyways,
well,
guys, don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll have some surprise, but there will be a new show coming to the network, a preview near you with myself and Courtney. We'll share the details as they come about. We're going to put Bobby to work over the next few days, but we're having a lot of fun on the Fins Talk Sports Network. We have Fins Talk today, this Saturday. I'm not sure if Bobby will be there or who knows who's always there with Fish Tank.
There's no show this Saturday.
No, he's taking the day off.
Wow. You're pulling a bandwagon, aren't you? Damn it. Anyways. Cheers, guys. Guys, don't forget to like and subscribe. Next, we have a baseball show tomorrow. Thirsty and Russ Morgan. Don't forget to check that out. Then on Monday, you have On the Clock. And then we have continual stuff with Goon Squad and Dolphins Diary on the Thirsties Network. Don't forget to check out Thirsties Network. Don't forget to check out Caneswear. Don't forget to check out East Entry Boys. I hear that might be coming back. You get to talk about your favorite cereals and all this wonderful stuff. We're just having a lot of fun. Anyways, don't forget to like and subscribe. Don't forget to check out Caneswear. Like, subscribe, and because I'm going to pull a Thirsty, I have to go look for my little video out. Fins up, everyone.
Fins up.
Hey, Miami sports fans. Stop by